In today's video, we've had a lot of people ask us what type of products we use on our own personal rides. We've tended to use a lot of the Adams polishes. So we're gonna show you from step one to end how to polish and ceramic coat your car. Today's video. Well, the first thing I actually did today, Adams Polishes is pretty good because they kind of color coordinate. Now I know they have some new bottles out as well, so we'll tag these in the video, but orange pad goes with orange compound. This is more of a cut, more of a polish. So unless it really needs a heavy correcting compound, I can use the blue, but we're gonna work on the roadster today, so it's already pretty slick. We're gonna start an orange polish on an orange pad, kind of a high-speed order. So let's get on to this, and then we'll go down the list of the things that we're gonna use on the roadster. I actually have a couple different high-speed orders. I do have one of the Adams polishes, a mini, and we'll show you that here in a few minutes. But for this surface, I have another high-speed order. And this one is a Meguiar's. I've had it for years, and it really has the bigger section for this pad, but it is an Adams Polishes pad, so I'm just gonna put it on there evenly. Now, when we're using the compound, you do not need much. I always see a lot of people, they want to put it all over the paint. You don't need to do that. So I've actually watched a lot of the people at car shows at Adams Polishes where I've gotten received the product from. I always shake it up pretty good. I've used this a lot. And really, I'm only gonna put maybe 3 or 4 dabs on this. I'm not gonna put a bunch because I also do not want it going all over, which I just had it go all over, didn't I? It was dry, but take 2. So we're gonna maybe spread that around. When you get lemons, you make lemonade. I always put the cord over me so it does not hit. And I have my speed pretty low on this. I am not gonna go too high. I wanna work that in. And I'm just gonna go down just like it was painted. And we're just gonna do the hood here first. And you can see I have a lot more than really what I want, so I'm gonna work this in. I typically do not want this much of a polish or a compound on here. Now I'm sure multiple people do multiple ways, but I'm gonna do kind of a crisscross here as well. This is just a foam pad. I am not using a wool pad. So I'm not gonna burn anything up. I'm not gonna stay in a spot too long. Now the longer we spend on this, the more it'll probably cut into it. I like doing it a couple different times, putting a little pressure on it. Okay, so once I have that on there, the polish is pretty easy. I do not, personal preference maybe, I do not necessarily, I'm not gonna let it sit here forever. I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of work that off. You'll see it kind of smearing, that's fine. I am also using the Adams Polishes rags. I've found these to work out best. They're better than just getting something at maybe a regular store or something like that. They are better than any other microfiber towel, but use a microfiber towel when you're doing this. So it is a lot more polished. So before any ceramic coating we can get to, we do have to polish and get any scratches out. ceramic coating is not going to take out the scratches. We're just protecting it afterwards, after everything is actually done. But I'm getting any fine scratches out prior to any ceramic coating, okay? So you can kind of see it's pretty slick. I wish you could feel it. It's already very slick down the hood before we do anything. Now, next step that we're going to do, I've polished the hood, we've gotten it slick. I'm actually gonna go to a little bit finer of a polish before we do anything else. So step 2 coming up. Okay, our next step, we're gonna go a paint finishing polish. It is a white, it is a little bit more of a finer polish on a white pad. So I have cleaned the pad, I've gotten rid of any excess wax or polish off of here. If we were just gonna wax it after this step, we would go to a Brilliant Glaze. It's more like a liquid. I really like this. It really keeps it a long time and slick. But for this, we're gonna go to a polish next. Okay. So I'm gonna put a new foam pad on. I'm gonna get rid of the old rag that I used for the polish for this time. And we're just gonna hopefully not spray this everywhere. We're just gonna do a little bit. I don't want as much compound as I had before. So again, on here, I'm just gonna do a little bit, little, and that is enough. Just kind of 3 drops. This is plenty of material for just a small section on this hood. Now I find a lot of this, as we go less of a cut, this is easier to wipe off than the last one. Again, I'm using a new rag each time, and just gonna kind of wipe it off. You'll see a little bit of a smear in the beginning. That's okay. Once I kind of get the bulk of it off, I'll flip the rag over and then kind of do it again. So the hood is now all polished, a little bit finer of a polish. If I want to just go to a wax, I can use the wax after this. But really, I will not wax it because I'm gonna do a cleaner after this point to get any film off before we go prior to ceramic coating. So for me, comment below, what do you like to do? Do you do another step? Are you using a different material? Or what rags and everything are you using? But this is what we have found to work out best. We've done a lot with attention to every detail in town as well, and they kind of do the similar process we've learned from other people that are smarter than us. So comment below, you may be that person as well. Okay, so we're all done with the polish. We're gonna get a cleaner next, and we're gonna go take this film off and then ready to prep it for ceramic coating. One thing I will show you, the Roadster does not need this. If I am doing ceramic coating on a normal vehicle, maybe it's not as slick as some of these. I've actually used the clay bar before. Before we get into any polishing, anything, I'm gonna take the initial film or any residue, anything off of that paint. You can use a cleaner, but I'll just use a water and do a clay bar over this. Then I will get into the polishing, but for this step, Don't think that we missed it. We've already done that on the Roadster, but clay bar always comes in handy, takes anything off prior to polishing. Okay, next step. Before we get into anything, we're going to now clean the entire car. We would do this with a coating prep to get anything off before we can seal it with a ceramic coat. So let's go to the cleaning. I'm gonna grab a new rag and we're gonna use the coating prep. So on this, I like to spray it on my rag instead. I don't need a ton of it. I'm just gonna kind of clean the surface. Some people may spray it, personal preference. I'm just gonna spray it on the rag. Just kind of get it damp, and I'm gonna clean it. You'll see it looks like it's wet. We're really just taking any wax or polish off before we get into it. You'll see it start drying. I'm gonna flip my rag again where it's kind of wet. Now I'm just gonna make sure I don't have any smears, anything on here. When we're doing ceramic coating, I can go through the whole process with the car, polishing everything, but we're gonna go section by section, panel by panel, a little section at a time as far as ceramic coating goes. So this panel is now totally prepped. There's nothing on here. It is totally clean. I am ready to go to ceramic coating for this section. Okay, so we are ready for ceramic coating. So Adams Polishes, they give you a nice box with the whole kit. So with the kit, we receive the coating prep, the pad, the ceramic coating, and a boost, which we'll get into for the next day, okay? But I'm gonna use the pad that they give, so you want something real soft. I've cleaned this as well. Now for this purpose, I have used all my Adams Polishes ceramic coating. Another ceramic coat that we've used is R1 coatings. R1 coatings last pretty long. You can research it. All these ceramic coatings are not equal. Really do your research on what lasts. Now these cars, the ceramic coating is gonna last a lot longer because they're kept inside in a heated garage, right? That's pretty self-explanatory. Our big truck, if it were to sit outside, the weather, it is going to, the life expectancy of the material will decrease if the car sits outside, okay? So we're gonna use the applicator and the pad, and I'm going to grab a new rag. Okay. Now with this, we're going to do a cross section on here. So we're going to do a crisscross. Once this, I'm gonna do a little section here, and then we'll go to the next section. Once this starts to haze, you do not let this sit on here for a long period. You'll see it to almost start to colorize or rainbow effect. Once it starts to rainbow, then we are going to wipe that off after we cross it. You do not need a ton of this. I'm just simply gonna put a little bit on the pad. It is wet, so you'll see a little strip where I did this. And I'm going to do a little section. You'll kind of see it. Hopefully you see it on the pad. Okay? I'm just gonna go crossways, long, and then I'm gonna cross it to make sure that I did not miss any spot, okay? So I'm just gonna do a section, again, at a time. I'm not gonna do the entire hood. I do not need to press, this is not a polish. It is already starting to kind of haze, a little bit of dry, and I'm gonna go ahead and buff this off with the rag. I'm gonna make sure all of it is all done. Pretty easy, that's it, okay? I have cleaned the entire surface. It is already on here, so ceramic coating section is actually done. Now, for my purposes, I'm gonna do the rest of this hood, so I know what I actually did, and I'm gonna do it again, length, and then we're gonna do it cross. So we're just gonna kind of do each section. I'm gonna cross it now. And we'll just kind of keep going back and forth to make sure we got it all. Okay. Again, it's starting to already haze. I'm going to go ahead and buff the ceramic coating off. Hopefully you can see this coming off. So again, I would only do a panel at a time. If you have a big door or something, I may do just a section. I may break that whole door down into 3 or 4 different sections as we go, okay? Once the vehicle is actually done, once the ceramic coating is all on here, we will leave this sit for 24 hours. We'll leave it sit. Everything is totally done on here. We do not do the next step until that point, okay? So fast forward 24 hours. Here we go. Here is the next step. We're actually going to show you the next step on another vehicle, our purple truck here, because we've actually used the R1 coatings, Adams polishes. We've done the ceramic coating on here. So the next step on here would be either the Revive, you can use this, a coating enhancer, or we're gonna do a ceramic boost. So we're gonna use, in this scenario, the ceramic boost that Adams polishes gives us. After it's been ceramic coated, we're gonna come back 24 hours later. Now I've already dusted off the hood on the truck. The hood has already been ceramic coated on here. Now what I will do next, I'm gonna shake this up, and we're just going to, I use it on the rag. I do not put it, I don't spray it necessarily on the hood. I just like it this way a little bit better. I think it's easier. Kind of open this. May get a little bit of overspray on the hood, and that's fine. And I will simply wipe down the hood. Again, it's gonna kind of haze a little bit. This is sealing in the ceramic coating that we already did 24 hours ago. I'm just gonna make sure I'm not gonna push hard because I don't wanna start scratching anything like that. But I'm gonna come back. It will give it a little bit of a haze again. I'm just gonna buff off the ceramic boost and make sure that I get any haze, and this is sealing that protection in on the truck. I'm gonna do this so I know that I got it all. And I like especially black, I like it slick. So who knows how this shows up underneath the lights, but I get down in here and make sure everything is done. Once the entire hood has been boosted, that's it. We're done. We would go through the entire vehicle, the same steps, and really you're set. It's gonna be a lot easier with the ceramic coating. Bugs on the front end, they're not gonna stick as much. I think it even helps chipping. Stuff isn't gonna do that. It's gonna protect for any things that's dropping from the sky, bird, anything along those lines. It's just going to protect your paint. So a lot of people, a lot of shops charge up to thousands of dollars to do something, but this is an easy way that you can do a little bit of investment with some of these products yourself. If you just take your time, you can do this too in your own garage, under your own lights, and save a lot of money. It's pretty easy. So with wrapping up the video, we appreciate you watching along today. Again, comment below, what are some of the products that you've used? Have you tried out the Adams polishes? But check out the link below. You may pick up some of these products for yourself. We'll tag Adams polishes and all the links. And we appreciate you watching today. Stay tuned for the next video. So bonus section, for those tight spots on a hood, it's easy to use the Meguiar's Orbiter. But we have really come to like the Adams Swirl Killer. It's the mini, so it has the mini pads. So for those real tight spots, or maybe along a frame rail in between, we'll show you how this uses, but I can get in spots that the bigger pad cannot get into. So let's show you what this looks like real quick. I'll just put, again, maybe a little dab on here. And that's plenty for a little spot. And again, it does have speeds at the bottom, but a little switch. And I'll just get into little spots that I might not normally get into, or a belt line. It's really good for the belt line, so I can get in a little tighter. But for those spots, the belt line, they have multiple pads They have a wool pad for this. They have the different colors, same as we talked about before, but this is a great way. The Adams Swirl Killer, the little mini buffer, this is a great one to use. So check that out, link below. So this was the high-speed order that we used. This was by Meguiar's. So check out Meguiar's online. This is one I use with the bigger pad. It has lasted me for years. No problems whatsoever. You're not gonna burn anything up, but check out Meguiar's for this high-speed order.